hit that like button and subscribe.
Okay, I have to say it right out of the gate.
Oh boy.
I am just buzzing. I am absolutely vibrating right now.
Wait, seriously? Already, we haven't even started the deep dive yet.
Did you read the whole transcript we got? Please, for the love of all that is holy, tell me you went through the entire source text.
I read it. The unraveling of our constitutional republic, printed out in black and white. Yeah, I caught every word of it.
Oh, stop it.
I mostly read it through my fingers.
You are such a downer.
Like a horror movie where the teenager goes into the basement when they clearly shouldn't.
You're literally the person who brings a raincoat to a pool party. You know that.
I bring an umbrella when the forecast calls for a hurricane.
I'm talking about history here. I am talking about the source material for today's deep dive, the 2026 State of the Union Address. President Trump, back in the chamber. The 250th anniversary of America, right on the horizon. Honestly, reading this, it felt different this time.
Different how?
It wasn't just a speech. It was like a victory lap, a celebration. He called it the Golden Age. And just looking at the sheer volume of numbers he threw out, I think you might have a point.
Wait, seriously, you are buying the Golden Age branding.
It's right there in the text.
That is a marketing slogan. It's not a policy position. It's like when a cereal box says new and improved, but it's just the exact same Sugar Puffs with the slightly different mascot on the front.
But the stats.
You can't just say Golden Age 3 times in a bathroom mirror and fix the national debt.
Look, it's not just branding if it's actually backed up by reality. Before we get too far in, I just want to remind you, the listener, we are looking directly at the transcript of this speech today.
Yep.
We're not endorsing the claims. We're not taking political sides. We are just breaking down what is actually in this highly anticipated source text. And the text says we are 5 months away from the 250th birthday of the United States.
The semi-quincentennial.
If you want to be fancy about it. And the president stood there and literally told the country we are bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
He certainly said those words.
He said we've achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen. How do you not get swept up in that kind of rhetoric?
Because I own a calculator.
Oh, come on.
And, well, I have a basic understanding of how the 3 branches of government are actually supposed to work. I'm not getting swept up because I'm too busy trying to pick my jaw up off the floor from some of the logistical nightmares he casually mentioned.
You always do this.
Do what? Math.
You focus on the legalistic details.
The legalistic details being the United States Constitution.
And you miss the big picture. The big picture in this transcript is that America is back. He started the whole speech by framing the context. He inherited a nation in crisis, a stagnant economy, inflation, wars everywhere. And in 1 year,
Supposedly.
in one single year, he turned it around. He literally called it a turnaround for the ages.
The turnaround for the ages. Okay, let's actually unpack this turnaround, because if we are going to do this deep dive, we're going to do it properly. We're not just going to read the applause lines and clap.
I'm not just clapping. I'm looking at the results.
We are going to look at what was actually said. We need to dig into the numbers, the specific claims, and the real-world implications of those claims.
Fine, let's do it. But I'm telling you, the stats are impressive. You cannot argue with the scoreboard.
Oh, I can absolutely argue with the scoreboard if the scoreboard is completely broken. Let's start with the economy. This was his opening salvo.
Gladly. Let's talk about inflation. Remember when it was totally out of control? Remember paying like $8 for a carton of eggs?
I do buy groceries, yes.
Well, the text says that in his first 12 months, he's driven core inflation down to the lowest level in 5 years.
Okay.
In the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. That is rock bottom. 1.7.
It's a number.
It's better than the Fed's target.
Look, 1.7% is fine. I won't dispute the data point, assuming the Bureau of Labor Statistics hasn't been completely gutted. But at what cost?
What do you mean at what cost?
Ariel,
Lower prices or lower prices?
you can drive inflation down by crashing demand, or by engaging in massive price controls, which we will absolutely get to later with the drug prices, or by artificially suppressing costs.
It's not artificial. It's energy independence. Which brings me to gas prices.
Here we go.
This is the one everyone actually feels. This is the ultimate kitchen table issue for you and me and everyone listening.
Sure.
He said gas hit a peak of over $6 a gallon under the previous administration. And now, he says it's below $2.30 a gallon in most states.
In most states.
And get this, He went to Iowa a few weeks ago, and he saw it for $1.85.
Hey, seriously.
$1.85. When was the last time you saw gas under $2?
In Iowa, maybe 2002. Look, I'm not denying that cheap gas feels really good when you're filling up your tank.
Exactly.
But $1.85, that is suspiciously low.
Suspiciously low. It's a good thing.
That's not just market forces at work. That feels like artificial deflation. Think about it for a second. The break-even price for fracking, right? For the shale drillers he claims to love so much.
Yeah.
It's usually around $40 or $50 a barrel for crude. If gas is $1.85 at the pump, crude oil has to be incredibly cheap.
Because we are pumping more of it.
But if it gets too cheap, the American oil industry crashes because they start losing money on every single barrel they pull out of the ground.
But he explicitly said oil production is up 600,000 barrels a day. Drill, baby, drill.
Sure, drill, baby, drill. But did you catch the part later in the speech where he mentioned receiving 80 million barrels of oil from our quote-unquote new friend and partner, Venezuela?
I did catch that.
Yeah.
And I think that's just brilliant diplomacy, which we are definitely going to get to.
Dumping foreign oil to crash domestic prices isn't exactly an America-first energy policy, but okay.
Just stick to the money for a second. The Dow Jones hit 50,000.
Paper wealth.
He said it broke 50,000, 4 years ahead of schedule. The S&P hit 7,000. People's 1K accounts are exploding right now.
For the people who actually have them.
He said the typical balance is up by at least $30,000 since he took office. That is real wealth for real families.
It's paper wealth. It is the stock market. And sure, the line goes up. Everyone feels rich. He literally said that in the transcript, quote, people really feel rich for the first time in their lives.
And they do.
But markets crash. And when you pump the market this hard with what sounds like massive deregulation and extreme government intervention, bubbles tend to burst. But okay, stops are up. I will give you that. But we really have to talk about the Trump accounts.
Oh, I love this part. This is honestly my favorite part of the whole speech.
I knew it would be.
This is the visionary stuff.
It's so shiny. It has that seen on TV glitter all over it.
It's not just shiny, it's revolutionary. He is talking about tax-free investment accounts for every single American child.
Right.
He even made a joke that he didn't name them Trump accounts, that some tall man in the third row did. Classic banter.
Highly believable. A random tall man just shouted it out and it stuck.
But here's the actual concept from the source material. Millions of accounts, pre-funded by the U.S. Treasury and private donations. He brought up Michael and Susan Dell.
Yep, the Dell founders.
They donated $6.25 billion to fund these accounts for 25 million children. That is philanthropy on a scale we just haven't seen since the days of Rockefeller.
Okay, wait, stop. Seriously, stop right there. Let's do the math on this.
It's a huge donation. It's the biggest.
It is a massive number. $6.25 billion is an astronomical amount of money. But he said it's for 25 million children. Grab your phone. I actually want you to do this right now.
I hate doing math on the deep dive.
Just humor me.
Yeah.
Divide 6.25 billion by 25 million.
Fine. Okay, 6 billion, 250 million, divided by 25 million.
What's the number?
It's $250.
$250.
Okay, that's a solid start. It's seed money.
He said, and I'm quoting the transcript directly here, with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18.
Exactly, generational wealth.
How exactly does $250 turn into $100,000 in 18 years? Even with the market doing this miracle 50,000 Dow thing, the compound interest required for that it's not math, it's alchemy.
You're being dramatic.
You would need modest contributions of like thousands of dollars a year from the parents to even get close.
Well, he did say modest additional contributions. And don't forget, the Treasury is kicking in money too. Plus, you have Brad Gerstner and other major donors involved. It's a public-private partnership.
It's a mirage.
It's about giving every kid a stake in the American dream. Michael Dell said he started making computers in his dorm room. That is the exact spirit we are trying to unlock here.
It's the spirit of misleading math. If you tell a working-class family, hey, we opened a Trump account for your kid, it'll be $100K when they're 18.
And it will be.
And you start them with $250, they are going to be severely disappointed when they show up to pay for college and find out it's worth maybe $1,200 because they couldn't afford the quote-unquote modest $500 a month contribution.
You are completely ignoring the tax benefits that go along with this.
Am I?
He said no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security.
Right.
That puts money directly back into people's pockets so they literally can make those contributions.
Sounds amazing on a bumper sticker. No tax on anything. Who doesn't love that? But how do we fund the military? How do we fund the roads? How do we fund the U.S. Treasury portion of these exact same Trump accounts if we just stop collecting taxes?
We fund it with tariffs. This is the genius of the whole plan.
Oh, God. The tariffs. Here we go.
He said he's brought in trillions and trillions of dollars from foreign countries. He said the income tax could be substantially replaced by tariffs. He said we used to be a dead country, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world with $18 trillion in new investment pouring in.
18 trillion.
It's a massive shift from taxing our own people to taxing foreign competitors. It makes total sense.
Okay, we have to stop here because this is the actual constitutional crisis part of the transcript. Did you listen to what he said about the Supreme Court?
He said it was an unfortunate ruling.
Unfortunate ruling is putting it mildly. The Supreme Court struck down his tariffs just 4 days before this speech.
Right.
He admitted it right there in the chamber. He said the court invalidated most of his sweeping tariffs. That means the tariffs are illegal. They are unconstitutional. And what was his response to that?
His response was strong leadership. He said he has alternative legal statutes that are fully approved and tested.
What does that even mean?
It means what it means.
Alternative legal statutes? There is no such thing. If the Supreme Court of the United States says no, the answer is no. You cannot just stand there and say, well, I have a secret other law that says I can do it anyway. That is not how the law works in this country.
But he said congressional action isn't even necessary.
Which is worse.
He said the foreign countries are paying anyway because they know the legal power that he, as president, has could be far worse for them if they don't. That is pure leverage.
That is extortion.
He's saying, look, the court made a mistake, but these countries know I'm the boss, and they want to keep the deal going. It is the art of the deal on a global scale.
It is the art of a dictatorship. He is openly bragging on live television that foreign countries are obeying him out of fear, despite our own highest court explicitly saying he doesn't have the legal authority to do it.
They respect strength.
He essentially said, the court has made their decision, now let them enforce it. That is absolutely terrifying.
You are way overreacting. He just called the justices disappointing. That is hardly a declaration of war against the judiciary.
In the pre-show interview with ABC, he apparently called them unpatriotic. And in the speech itself, he said he's using statutes that are a little more complex, but actually probably better.
Better is good.
He is completely bypassing the checks and balances of our government. And you're just cheering because gas is supposedly $1.85.
I'm cheering because of people like Megan Hemhauser,
Who?
the woman he pointed out in the gallery. Megan Hemhauser. She is saving $5,000 a year. Did you read her story in the transcript?
The waitress.
She's a homeschool mom, waitressing at night while her husband operates heavy equipment. That is the backbone of this country.
I agree. It's hard work.
And because of the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime policies, she is taking home $5,000 extra. She is literally cutting her tax bill in half. That's not abstract math. That's groceries. That's money for her kids.
I am happy for Megan. Really, I am. I want working people to keep their money. But if the federal government collapses because we suddenly have zero revenue,
It's not going to collapse.
and the president is just ignoring the Supreme Court's rulings on how we collect money, Megan's $5,000 isn't going to go very far.
You're being hysterical.
Inflation will eat that $5,000 in a month if the global bond market panics, because the American president is just making up laws as he goes.
He said we'd have a balanced budget overnight if we catch the fraud.
Oh, right. The war on fraud. We will absolutely get to that. But can we please move to foreign policy first?
Let's do it.
Because if you think the domestic stuff sounded like an action movie, the foreign policy section of this transcript was literally pitched as a summer blockbuster.
It was incredible. Peace through strength. He listed them out. He ended 8 wars in 10 months. 8.
I made a list. I literally wrote them down as he was saying them in the text.
Let's hear it. Cambodia, Thailand, Pakistan and India, Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, and Congo and Rwanda, and Gaza.
Exactly. Who else could possibly do that? He said Pakistan and India were about to go nuclear. 35 million people would have died. And he stopped it. Wait, seriously. When were we at war in Cambodia and Thailand?
He didn't say we were at war.
Since when was the U.S. military fighting in Thailand recently? I must have really missed that headline between watching cat videos and checking the weather report.
You're missing the point. He didn't say American troops were fighting there. He said he ended the wars. He used American diplomatic influence to stop global conflicts. He picked up the phone.
He said, quote, "In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars." It heavily implies he just waved a magic wand.
He negotiated.
And that Pakistan claim. The Prime Minister of Pakistan said 35 million people would have died if not for my involvement. That is a massive, world-altering claim to just gloss over between applause lines.
He saved lives.
We have absolutely zero verification of that conversation. It's just, trust me, I saved the world from nuclear winter.
But we do have verification of the results. There is peace. There is no nuclear fallout.
And speaking of very verifiable results, let's talk about Venezuela.
Here we go. The raid. The raid. Come on, even you, Mr. Cynical Skeptic, you have to admit this story was incredibly cool.
Cool is an interesting word for an international incident.
He talked about elite American warriors, spectacular feats of military competence. He literally took down Nicolas Maduro,
He kidnapped a foreign head of state.
an outlaw dictator.
Yeah.
He designated the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and he went in and got them. He described it like a military thriller. The massive Chinook helicopter.
Yeah.
Chief Warrant Officer Eric Slover. Did you read that specific story?
I read it. It was extremely detailed.
It was heroic. Eric Slover, flight lead. His wife Amy blessed him with holy water before the mission. They go in, pitch black, taking heavy fire from machine guns.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the legs, shredded, the president said. 4 agonizing shots, and he keeps flying.
The miracle he survived.
He maneuvers the helicopter so his gunners can take out the threat. He lands, delivers the commandos, and then flies them all out while literally bleeding out in the cockpit. That is Medal of Honor stuff right there.
Look, it is an incredible story of survival and skill. I am not taking anything away from the pilot. Chief Slover sounds like a legitimate badass.
He is.
But look at the broader context of what is happening in this text. We invaded Venezuela, captured their leader, and installed a completely new one, Delcy Rodriguez.
A better one.
And Trump is sitting there bragging about how the new president is now working hand in hand with us.
Because it works.
It's regime change. It is 19th century gunboat diplomacy playing out in real time.
It's peace through strength. And it worked. We have Enrique, the uncle of the other guest, released from prison. We have a new partner in oil, which is where that 80 million barrels you were complaining about earlier came from.
Jizzed oil.
We have regional security.
And we have Operation Midnight Hammer.
Yes,
This was not a peace deal.
it brought peace.
He said the U.S. military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil. That is a direct act of war.
It was a preemptive strike.
You cannot just bomb a sovereign country's infrastructure to dust and call it peace.
They were building nuclear weapons. He said, quote, "I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror to have a nuclear weapon." He wiped it out.
And we're just supposed to assume there will be no retaliation.
Notice how Iran didn't do anything back. Why?
Yeah.
Because they are scared. Because our military is, as he put it, stacked.
Stacked. Right. That is the highly technical term. Sir, the readiness reports are in, and we are officially stacked.
It's how people talk. And it works. The troops love it. Speaking of the military, did you catch the warrior dividend?
I did. $1,776.
I just love the symbolism of that. $1,776 for every single service member. He said the brass asked for approval at $1,775, and he said, wait a minute, for $1 more, we can make it $1,776.
Very clever.
That is classic Trump. It's patriotic, it's cash right in their hands, and the troops are going to love it.
It's a bribe.
Oh, come on.
It is a cash handout to the military to ensure their loyalty. Here's $1,776. Please don't worry about the fact that I am completely ignoring the Supreme Court of the United States.
You're stretching so far for that.
Feels very Roman. Like a Caesar paying the legions directly from his personal purse so they answer to him instead of the Senate.
Oh my gosh, you are so incredibly cynical. It is a bonus. It's a thank you for their service. Just like the Medal of Honor presentation for the pilot. Can we actually talk about that Medal of Honor moment?
Which one? The one for the pilot or the one the president wants for himself?
It was a joke. When he was giving the medal to Royce Williams, the 100-year-old pilot who shot down 4 Soviet jets,
Amazing guy.
Trump joked, "I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself." It was funny. The crowd laughed in the transcript.
Was it funny? Or was it a little glimpse directly into his id?
It's self-deprecating.
He literally said, if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. He wants the medal. He legitimately thinks he deserves the highest military honor for what, giving a speech?
He's the commander-in-chief.
It's stolen valor by proximity.
It's called humor. You know, that thing normal human beings have?
Yeah.
He was sharing the stage with a literal century-old hero. It was a lighthearted moment to break the tension. And speaking of medals, what about the hockey team?
Oh, the vote. This was the exact moment I thought I was hallucinating while reading this transcript.
Men's gold medal Olympic hockey team was right there in the gallery. They beat Canada in overtime.
Thrilling, I'm sure.
And Trump takes a vote, a literal show of hands from the team to decide if the goalie, Connor Hellebuyck, gets the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
It is the highest civilian honor in the country.
And he earned it. 46 shots on goal.
It is meant for people who have made world-changing contributions to peace, to science, to culture. It is not an MVP award you vote on by raising hands in the House chamber like you're picking a pizza topping.
You're so rigid.
Who wants pepperoni? Who wants the Medal of Freedom? Show of hands.
But it makes it fun. It makes the government accessible to regular people. People love sports. We are getting the Olympics in LA in 2028.
Because of bids won years ago.
We're getting the World Cup in 2026. He said LA is going to be incredibly safe for it, just like D.C. is now safe.
Safe. Let's really talk about that. He said crime in Washington, D.C. is down close to 100%.
Lowest level ever recorded, he said.
Close to 100% essentially implies zero crime. Do you actually believe that? Do you believe there is literally zero crime happening in Washington, D.C. right now?
I believe it is a whole lot better than it was. He mentioned Sarah Beckham, the National Guard specialist who was tragically killed defending the Capitol. He has taken it seriously.
He deployed the military.
He deployed the National Guard to Memphis, to New Orleans, and to D.C. He said, we have almost no crime anymore. Maybe 100% is hyperbole, but if you walk down the street and you don't get mugged, that feels like 100% to you.
It's authoritarianism. Soldiers patrolling the streets of American cities. That is how you get zero crime. Martial law.
It's called law and order, and regular people want it. Just like they want the border actually fixed. And boy, did he fix the border in this text.
Fixed is definitely one word for it.
0 illegal aliens admitted in the last 9 months. 0.
Again, with the absolute zeros.
It's a powerful stat.
It is statistically impossible. Unless you have hermetically sealed the entire southern border with a dome, people are crossing.
Oh, stat.
To say 0 is just, it's pure fantasy. It is a number picked completely out of thin air because it sounds strong on television.
But he is sending a clear message. He said the murder rate had the largest decline in recorded history. He said fentanyl deaths are down 56%.
And he talked about the Delilah law.
This is the CDL thing.
Yes. Delilah Coleman, 5 years old. She was hit by a truck driver who is an illegal alien with a commercial license. He wants to ban states from giving CDLs to illegal aliens.
That is just common sense. Why should someone who is here illegally be driving an 80,000-pound 18-wheeler on our highways?
I am not arguing that specific point regarding commercial licensing. That's a debate we can have. But listen to the rhetoric surrounding it in the transcript.
Rhetoric.
He blamed open borders politicians, and then he immediately pivoted to the war on fraud. And this is where the text got really, really ugly.
Ugly. He's trying to save billions of taxpayer dollars. He mentioned the Somali community in Minnesota.
He explicitly targeted an ethnic group. He said, and I quote, members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer.
He has the data.
He called them Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota.
He said they have the information. He said the real number is actually much higher than that. $19 billion is a staggering amount of money. If that's true, that is a massive, massive scandal.
If Emig's doing a ton of heavy lifting in that sentence, $19 billion. Do you realize that is more than the entire gross domestic product of actual Somalia?
Well, healthcare fraud is huge.
To claim that one specific community in Minnesota stole that much, and to use highly charged language like pirates in importing these cultures.
He's just being tough on crime.
That is incredibly dangerous, divisive rhetoric. It is painting a massive target on the back of every single Somali American in this country. It's creating a scapegoat.
He's targeting the fraud, not the people legally doing things right. He said, if we find the fraud, we balance the whole national budget overnight. And he's putting J.D. Vance in charge of the effort.
Oh, fantastic. The vice president is leading the war on fraud. I'm sure that will be a very nuanced, extremely fair, and unbiased investigation, given the exact rhetoric we just read.
It's completely necessary. We cannot have people stealing from the taxpayers, just like we cannot have voter fraud. Did you see the poll he cited about the elections?
The 89% one.
Yes. 89% support for voter ID, and that includes Democrats.
He just completely threw that number out there. It's polling at 89%. Based on what poll exactly? A poll of his family dinner table.
It's common sense. People support it.
And look at the restrictions he's proposing. No more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel.
Right.
That completely eliminates voting convenience for millions and millions of working people who just don't have time to stand in line on a Tuesday.
He said voting is the greatest privilege of them all. You need ID to shovel snow in New York, he said.
Okay, that was a weird tangent.
He made a very good point. The mayor of New York requires 2 forms of ID to shovel snow for the city, but 0 forms of ID to vote in an election. That literally makes no sense.
It's a false equivalency. Shoveling snow as a paid city contractor is a job where you get W-2 wages. Voting is a fundamental constitutional right.
You still need to prove who you are.
But look, we're getting totally bogged down in this. I want to shift and talk about the Trump RX thing, because this is yet another, wait, seriously, moment for the actual mechanics of the economy.
It's amazing. TrumpRx.gov. Which, by the way, he didn't name that one either.
Oh, sure he didn't. Let me guess. The tall man in the third row strikes again. It's kitschy. He used most favored nation status.
Explain what he thinks that means.
He basically said, if France pays $10 for this specific pill, we pay $10. Americans have been subsidizing the entire world's drug research for decades by paying higher prices.
That's partly true. The U.S. does pay more.
He stopped it. He brought Catherine Runner to the gallery. She's an IVF patient. She needed a drug that was $4,000, and she got it for under $500.
Oof.
That is a $3,500 savings instantly, right in her pocket.
Okay, but how? How does the price actually go down? He said, quote, I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people.
Yes, cut out the middleman.
That sounds suspiciously like single-payer health care or universal basic income just for pharmaceuticals. If you force private companies to sell at the lowest world price, who makes up the difference in revenue?
The companies have plenty of money.
Or do the companies just stop selling the drugs here? Their stocks were up 1,700%, he said. They can afford to take a little haircut? He is fighting for the little guy.
By breaking the market.
He said to the lawmakers, John and Mike, codify it anyway. He's pushing Congress to make it a permanent law.
It is literal price controls.
Call it what you want, it works.
It is the federal government dictating fixed prices to private, publicly traded companies. For a Republican administration, that is wild. Most favored nation usually applies to trade tariffs between governments, not forcing Pfizer to match a price dictated by a health board in India.
The labels don't matter.
It is extreme market intervention.
Who cares what you call it if Catherine gets to have her baby? Who cares if you call it price controls and negotiation if someone's insulin is finally cheap?
The economists care when the supply chain collapses.
This is exactly what I mean by the golden age. He is actually solving problems that politicians in Washington have only talked about for 50 years. He said, other presidents tried, they were all talk and no action. But I got it done.
He got it done by decree. That is the entire underlying theme of the night.
Action.
He gets it done by ignoring the Supreme Court, by sending in the military to foreign countries, by kidnapping foreign leaders. It is effective, sure, in the same way a bulldozer is effective at opening a locked front door.
It gets you inside.
But you completely destroy the house in the process.
We are not destroying the house. We are renovating it for the big party, the 250th anniversary.
Ah, yes. The epic milestone.
July 4th, 2026. He really set the stage for this at the end of the transcript. He talked about Thomas Jefferson dying on July 4th, 1826, the deep historical connection between the founders and us right now.
It was a very well-written conclusion.
He said, the golden age of America is upon us. He is looking completely forward. The World Cup, the Olympics, the Mars missions. He mentioned launching mankind into the stars.
He did, and he also took personal credit for the World Cup and the Olympics. I got them both, he said.
Well, they are happening on his watch. He's the president.
The bids for those events were won years ago, long before he was back in office. But sure, he got them.
He's the cheerleader in chief. That is a massive part of his job, to make us feel good about the future of the country.
Cheerleading is fine.
And when he talked about the actual heroes, like Buddy Taggart,
The World War II veteran?
Yeah, turning 100 on the 250th anniversary.
Yep.
That was a genuinely beautiful moment in the speech.
It was a nice moment. Buddy Taggart liberated an internment camp. He's a true hero. I have nothing but respect for that. But then he immediately pivoted right back to, I am the only thing standing between you and total destruction.
He said the only thing standing between Americans and a wide-open border right now is President Donald J. Trump.
Exactly.
And looking at the numbers, 0 admissions now versus millions before, he's not entirely wrong.
It is a massive messiah complex. I alone can fix it. I am the shield. He even mentioned the tremendous renewal in religion.
Which is a good thing for a lot of people.
He said, we love religion and we love bringing it back. And then, immediately after praising religion, he brought up Charlie Kirk.
That was a really sad moment. Charlie Kirk, martyred for his beliefs.
A martyr.
He was violently murdered by an assassin.
That is a horrible tragedy. Nobody should be subjected to political violence. But to elevate a political podcaster and activist to the level of a literal religious martyr in the middle of a State of the Union address.
He was a prominent voice.
He said, we must totally reject political violence of any kind. And I agree with that completely.
Right.
But it felt like he was literally canonizing his political allies from the podium.
He was honoring a friend.
Just like he gave the highest civilian honor to the hockey goalie who literally raised his hand to vote for him on television.
You just read way too much into everything. He's honoring a friend who is brutally killed, and he's highlighting the return of faith to the public square. He mentioned Sage Blair.
The detransitioner.
Yes, the detransitioner. He's fighting for parental rights. He said no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms.
Right.
That is a massive winning issue for him, protecting kids.
It is a culture war issue, and he is leaning into it as hard as humanly possible. He used phrases like left-wing judge and confused sage. He is essentially framing half the country as child abusers.
He's protecting families.
That is not unity. That is not a golden age for everyone in the country. It's a golden age for his base.
It's a golden age for the majority, for the people who want safe streets, cheap gas, and a secure border.
If those things actually exist the way he claims they do.
He ended the speech by saying, our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before.
A lot of B words.
And you know what? Reading this transcript, imagining the crowd going wild, seeing the stats he laid out, I genuinely believe him.
You believe him.
I do. America feels like it's winning again. He even said, we're winning so much we don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, he claimed people are coming up to him begging, please, Mr. President, we're winning too much. I can't take it anymore.
It's just a funny visual.
I have literally never heard a human being say that in real life. Please stop winning. I am just so tired of all this money and peace.
It's a figure of speech. It's hyperbole to make a point about success.
It is a delusion. Look, you see a golden age. I look at this exact same transcript and I see a constitution in absolute shreds.
Oh, whatever.
I see a federal budget based entirely on fantasy math from a calculator that's missing half its buttons.
The math will work out.
I see a foreign policy based on illegal unilateral raids and a domestic policy based on demonizing our own neighbors.
They were so bleak.
I see a reality TV show that has completely swallowed the federal government whole.
Well, I see gas at $1.85. I see no new wars and a hockey team with shiny gold medals. I will gladly take the reality TV show if it actually gets these kinds of results.
And that right there is exactly why I'm terrified.
Terrified of peace and prosperity. Got it.
Because you will willingly trade the rule of law for cheap gas and a highly entertaining show.
It's not just a show. It is a turnaround for the ages.
God help us all.
God bless America.
Is there an unsubscribe button on this timeline? Because I've been looking for it for about an hour.
You can't unsubscribe. We have the 250th anniversary party to plan.
Fine. I will bring the calculator so we know what we can actually afford. You bring the confetti.
It's a deal. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive. Oh, and for you listening, here's a thought to chew on before next time. If the Supreme Court can be bypassed entirely just by invoking alternative statutes, what exactly stops any future president from doing the exact same thing for policies you don't like?
Wait, seriously, we're doing this again next week?
Every time.
Oh.
Every single time.
Oh, hit the like button and subscribe. And hit that damn bell.